the globe is like getting warmer or something?
Nah.
Do you think temperatures are changing in ways that we could notice and change?
You know, when I was a kid, we used to walk 7 miles up and down hills both ways to get to school. It was the same exact temperature as it is now, so...
It wasn't, though.
I don't think
because when old people
changed.
say, like, oh, it used to be so much colder, they're telling the truth. It really was genuinely colder. Like, winter... Now it's unusual for people in Chicago to... They're like, oh, it's going to be sub-zero weather. That used to happen every year, and now it does not.
For, like, months. Yeah.
But, like, now it's like, here's sub-zero weather and an end-of-the-world apocalyptic snowstorm. I know I'm not very good at directing my teammates, and I should be doing this. But I'm not, okay? It's not who I am.
Oh, but that's...
Medigel deployed.
Just to revisit this, though, that is why it is not very nice if you don't, like, especially without the full context of weather in a certain area, it's not nice to, like, make fun of people for, like, you know, oh, it's only an inch of snow, or, like, oh, it's not even that cold, because different places have different... like access to heat, insulation, air conditioning, plows, like all that stuff. So like what might be considered not a very big deal weather where you live might actually be extremely detrimental somewhere else, you know? So that's just always something to keep in mind, like as we have more of these like weather events that...
And I'm tired of hearing, well, they made fun of us so we can make fun of them. Stop. Yeah. You guys felt bad when they made fun of you. Do you have to be as bad as someone else, or you can just, like, stop?
Yeah.
And just not do it. Not be a butthead.
Oh.
What? It didn't go!
Yep. Yay! Oh, thank you for subscribing, Castling. I'm getting 24 rolls of Texas Roadhouse rolls. Do you guys want some? Absolutely. Bread, free bread.
I think I remember I have to turn on this laser, I think.
I want to eat this fresh baked bread. Past 2 weeks in a non-AC apartment that faces the sun all day long has been hell. My bedroom never dropped below 30 degrees Celsius, and I'm from a country where these temps aren't that unusual. Oof.
Dude, hacking is so easy. I think I could be a hacker. Like, you just press buttons until you get it right? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so good at video games. My data really doesn't do shit. Hey, girl. Came to save you.
Yay.
Oh, how did you get in here? I didn't think there was any way past the barrier.
We have to get you out of here before more Geth arrive.
Yes, you're right. I've seen enough of them to last a lifetime. That button should shut down my containment field.
Any idea how we get out of this place?
There is an elevator back in the center of the tower. At least I think it's an elevator. It should take us out of here. Come on.
Todd says you'd make a hilarious
I
hacker
still
trope
cannot believe
character.
all this. Why would the Geth come after me? Do you think Benezia's involved?
Seren's looking for the conduit. You're a Prothean expert. He probably wants you to help him find it.
The conduit? But I don't know.
You have no idea what you're doing, but shit totally works out anyway. Yeah, I love that.
These ruins are not stable. That mining laser must have triggered a seismic event. We have to hurry. The whole place is caving in.
Joker, Get the Normandy airborne and lock in on my signal. On the double, mister.
Aye, aye, Commander. Secure and away. ETA 8 minutes.
He needs to move faster.
If I die in here, I'll kill him.
He'd find a way.
How did their suits get even tighter? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in Mass Effect 1, all of the suits are based off of scuba gear because because they wanted to have like a sleek, streamlined look for all of the armor. And then EA bought the series and was like, what if we made it cool like Space Marines and God of War? I mean, Gears of War.
Mm-hmm.
Surrender. Or don't. That would be more fun.
In case you didn't notice, this place is falling apart.
Exhilarating, isn't it?
Due to my own actions, this Prothean ruin is being destroyed.
Hand the doctor over.
Whatever it is you want, you are not getting it from me.
She'll stay with us, thanks.
Not an option. Saren wants her, and he always gets what he wants. Kill him. Spare the Asari if you can. If not, doesn't matter.
Wow.
Get down!
I don't know what that fucking sound is.
Yeah. Oh, they noticed your Mass Effect print in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's unrelated. That's just what I have. I have like a million different like video game things that I just are just. I've had that since what, 2011?
Yeah.
God, it's been forever.
Very long time.
It's a very old piece of wrinkly paper now.
Just walk up to him and kick him a little bit.
Well, his health regenerates because he's a Krogan. There we go.
Shields down.
Thank you, Reagan Bar. They call us cuties. Thank you so much. I'm wondering if I should get this. Does it have any new content?
New content? No.
No new content.
But the game definitely runs smoother, and they have the updated graphics from Mass Effect 3 into Mass Effect 1.
Yeah. I mean, considering this game is from 2007, it looks pretty good and runs pretty well.
They used the engine from the 2012 game, but still, like, it still looks great. We are playing it in 4K though, so that definitely helps. Hi Mari, you got your GTX 3080. I mean, RTX? The newest graphics card. And it's the best on the market. Where are you gonna play?
Commander. 10 more
Old
seconds,
games.
we would
Yeah.
have been spewing molten sulfur. The Normandy isn't equipped to land in exploding volcanoes. They tend to fry our sensors and melt our hull. Just for future reference.
We almost died out there, and your pilot is making jokes?
Excuse me,
Yeah.
Laura. We saved you? Can you not be rude?
Joker pulled our asses out of there. I think he's earned the right to a few bad jokes.
Thank you.
I see. It must be a human thing. I don't have a lot of experience dealing with your species, Commander. But I am grateful to you. You saved my life back there, and not just from the volcano. Those Geth would have killed me or dragged me off to Saren.
What did Saren want with you? Do you know something about the conduit?
Only that it was somehow connected to the Prothean extinction. That is my real area of expertise. I have spent the past 50 years trying to figure out what happened to them.
Just how old are you exactly?
I hate to admit it, but I am only 106.
Damn. I hope I look that good when I'm your age.
A century may seem like a long time to a short-lived species like yours, but among the Asari, I am barely considered more than a child. That is why my research has not received the attention it deserves. Because of my youth, other Asari scholars tend to dismiss my theories on what happened to the Protheans.
Okay, in this game, before anyone starts, there's always somebody who's like, blah, 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 Tally's this age, Liara's this age. First of all, I'm pretty sure Tally is like over 20 at least, and they're going like...
Yeah, she's like 21 or 23.
And they're like, Commander Shepard's 30. I'm like, first, you are Commander Shepard, okay? You know that, right? Like, you're role-playing as Commander Shepard. You are. So if you're mad about Commander Shepard romancing Tally, don't do it. Second, none of those characters are coded to be childlike, even Liara, because Asari reached maturity at age 40. She's saying I'm barely considered more than a child because she's expressing her frustration. She's not a child. Second, if you were to use their full extended lifetimes and compare it to humans, humans in the Mass Effect universe live to 150, and Shepard is 30. So even by human standards, if you were to compare that, Shepard is a child, is a 15-year-old child, if you guys are going to use those comparisons, you know? So...
let's just say it's fine.
It's fine.
I've got my own theory on why the Protheans disappeared.
With all due respect, Commander, I have heard every theory out there. The problem is finding evidence to support them. The Protheans left remarkably little behind. It is almost as if someone did not want the mystery solved. It is like someone came along after the Protheans were gone and cleansed the galaxy of clues. But here is the incredible part. According to my findings, the Protheans were not the first galactic civilization to mysteriously vanish. This cycle began long before them.
Where'd you come up with this theory? I thought there wasn't any evidence.
I have been working on this for 50 years. I have tracked down every scrap and shred of evidence. Eventually, subtle patterns start to emerge, patterns that hint at the truth. It is difficult to explain to someone else. I cannot point to one specific thing to prove my case. It is more a feeling derived from a half-century of dedicated research. But I know I'm right, and eventually I will be able to prove it. There were other civilizations before the Protheans. This cycle has repeated itself many times over.
If the Protheans weren't the first, then who was?
I don't know. There is barely any evidence on the Protheans, even less on those who came before them. I cannot prove my theory, but I know I am right.
Okay.
The galaxy is built on a cycle of extinction. Each time a great civilization rises up, it is suddenly and violently cast down. Only ruins survive. The Protheans rose up from a single world until their empire spanned the entire galaxy. Yet even they climbed to the top on the remains of those who came before. Their greatest achievements, the mass relays and the Citadel, are based on the technology of those who came before them. And then, like all the other forgotten civilizations throughout galactic history, the Protheans disappeared. I have dedicated my life to figuring out why.
Hold on 1 second. So somebody has noticed that Shepard has a very long neck.
That's because of Shepard has the same skeleton as male Shep, but it's shortened. But her head needs to be at the same spot for all the other characters' animations to be looking into her eyes.
Yeah.
So they made her neck very long. So she has the skeleton of male Shep. And a lot of her animations are the same as male Shep, mostly the same.
You know what I don't understand? Why didn't they just make... like, why would they make her body shorter so that she has a weirdly long neck? Like, why not just have her be a tall woman?
Because she has the same skeleton, which means she has the same ratios. So in order to make her look feminine, they had to make her smaller. But in order to make her smaller, it made her scale to be shorter. So they had to make her neck longer. So if she was the same height as male Shep, her shoulders and broadness would be the same, and people would be like, she's so masculine, you know? That's not, I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just giving you the logic. And, you know, if anyone knows anything better and I'm wrong, please let me know. That's just what I know based off of, like, things that I read years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
What Liara's talking about actually goes along with the, this theory that has to do with, like, alien life and people trying to be like, if the universe is billions upon billions of years old, how come no other civilization has reached the point of, like, galactic travel to talk to us?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the theories is that there is a predator civilization out that kills or colonizes or whatever any other civilization there is. Like, they'll enslave you and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So all the other civilizations have either been wiped out or enslaved or whatever, or they learned that they have to be quiet and not go searching around in case that predator civilization finds them. And we're the ones making a mistake by trying to reach out. Because if we reach out, like, one of the main reasons why a civilization would even come this far is because they would want labor or our planet or whatever.
My headcanon is that Earth is the Florida of the universe. So all the other civilizations are just kind of like looking at us. They've all seen what's going on over here and they want no part of it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. The bag of food ate it.
The Reapers? But I have never heard of. How do you know this? What evidence do you have?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think that they've seen what's going on here and they have no interest in talking to us because we're all a bunch of yahoos.
You know, I've thought about that, and I think even that is to be like, yes, we're the most at something. We're the most bad. We're the most good. The most whatever. I think, I wish that was true because then it would make me feel like at least something out there was looking out for us and being like, God, that's bad. Let's just keep an eye on that.
Well, I feel like that's the joke take, but if... In all seriousness, what I also mean by that is that we have nothing to offer other species.
Other than our enslavement.
Yeah. So, and like, you know, if you want to say like that other species are like, you know, like very diplomatic or something, they might be looking at us and being like, they are definitely not ready for first contact. So like, we're just going to like leave them alone. Or, you know,
they're not ready to make trade deals. They're not ready to do this.
Yeah, like they don't have resources to offer us. Like
they haven't ascended their brains to like hybrid machinery, so we can't even talk yet. That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if aliens?
As a Floridian, I can confirm.
Like, what if the cutoff mark isn't warp drive? What if the cutoff mark is like hybridizing your brain with machinery, because like all the other aliens in the universe are able to communicate because they learned the technology to hybridize themselves with machinery, so they all have a common programming, you know what I mean?
Or even just like something more simple like being able to feed all the people on your planet.
Yeah, or like having a stable population where all of their needs are met.
Yeah.
Because how can you expect something a species to be spacefaring if they can't even take care of themselves?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, like, what are they going to offer to a diplomatic relationship if there's still all, like, a bunch of infighting among different human people and stuff like that?
Or the sad truth is that we are alone. And we're desperately trying to find ways to be like, no, we're not alone. They just haven't said anything yet.
Okay, Reapers... What evidence
There was
do you
a
have?
damaged Prothean beacon on Eden Prime. It burned a vision into my brain. I'm still trying to sort out what it all means.
Visions. Yes, that makes sense. The beacons were designed to transmit information directly into the mind of the user. Finding one that still works is extremely rare. No wonder the Geth attacked Eden Prime. The chance to acquire a working beacon, even a badly damaged one, is worth almost any risk. But the beacons were only programmed to interact with Prothean physiology. Whatever information you received would have been confused, unclear. I am amazed you were able to make sense of it at all. A lesser mind would have been utterly destroyed by the process. You must be remarkably strong-willed, Commander.
Yeah, Kaden.
This isn't helping us find Sarah or the conduit.
Of course, you're right. I am sorry, my scientific curiosity got the better of me. Unfortunately, I do not have any information that could help you find the conduit, or Saren.
So what good? No.
I don't know why Saren wanted you out of the picture, but I think we'll be a lot better off if we bring you along.
Thank you, Commander. Saren might come after me again. I cannot think of anywhere safer than here on your ship. And my knowledge of the Protheans might be useful later on.
And her biotics will come in handy when the fighting starts.
Also, you've been alone for like a really long time, so my chances of nailing you are really high.
Yeah.
Fun fact that you're probably not going to see unless you guys want me to manufacture this. If you romance both Liara and Caden, they confront you about it.
Oh.
And so you have to pick one or the other. And if you choose both, Liara's like, sure. And Caden is the one's like, no. Like, Liara's like, yeah, we can have three-ways all the time.
Yeah.
She, like, looks at Caden, she's like, yeah.
She's like, yeah, like, why not?
Yeah. And Caden's like, no. And most people would be like, you know, Caden, that was kind of weird that you would deny that. And he's a one-woman man. Or man, you know?
Yeah.
Good to have you on the team, Liara.
Thank you, Commander. I am very grateful. Oh, I am afraid I am feeling a bit lightheaded.
When was the last time you ate or slept? Dr. Chakwa should take a look at you.
It is probably just mental exhaustion, coupled with the shock of discovering the Prothean's true fate. I need some time to process all this. Still, it could not hurt to be examined by a medical professional. It will give me the chance to think things over. Are we finished here, Commander?
We can talk again after you've seen the doctor. The rest of you, dismissed.
Mission reports are filed, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
We've received your report, Commander. I understand Dr. Tassoni is on the Normandy.
I assume you're taking the necessary security precautions.
There is no Polly in this game.
I know what the fuck I'm doing. Shut up.
We can't. We have to commit to Paragon or Rex will die.
Liara's on our side. The Geth were trying to kill her.
Benezia would never allow Saren to kill her daughter.
Maybe she doesn't know.
Or maybe we don't know her. We never expected she could become a traitor.
At least the mission was a success.
Apart from the utter destruction of a major Prothean ruin. Was that really necessary, Shepard?
Sparatus, I have the feeling that you used to fuck with Matriarch Benezia and now you're really upset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all thought we knew her. I mean, I didn't know. We just all thought we knew her.
Listen, we all thought, and everyone's like, I didn't.
I don't really know her that well.
How
How do you know her so well? Nothing. Don't worry about it.
I love it.
The Asari's like, she's my matriarch. How do you know? Don't. Just let it go.
I love that when people just really tell on themselves with like, listen, we've all blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, no.
No, we haven't.
We have not.
We've all made flaws. You could have said that.
Mm-hmm. I don't care about the
Geth were
friends.
crawling all over those ruins. We were lucky to make it out alive.
Of course, Commander. The mission must always take priority.
Good luck, Commander. Remember, we are all counting on you.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
Okay.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, ma'am, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
If you keep telling him he's racist, one day he goes, you know what? I am racist.
Mm-hmm.
I won't do that anymore.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
It's been 20 years. Do you guys, you just showed up. Why do you guys act like everyone has to do everything for you?
Mm-hmm.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were at Elysium during the Skillian Blitz. A massive fleet of alien raiders hit the colony, trying to wipe it out. They had the numbers, but their ships were no match for an Alliance frigate. It was a slaughter. We couldn't even keep track of how many ships they lost.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
Scallion Blitz. Scallion Blitz.
I prefer gold to silver, you know, for my medal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I pulled your boots out of the fire.
I just love that Joker falls in love with the ship because it totally makes sense for him. And his job is to diddle his girlfriend all day. He's just having foreplay with Edie all day, every day.
It's nice.
I know, it's just all day, every day with his GF.
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medal's worth that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
Tanya's here.
Hey! What's up?
I'd like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
He definitely talks as if he's somebody who's definitely been told that's not a possibility a lot. And I enjoy his aggressive confidence. And I think we should award confidence more in people, because sometimes I feel like when somebody's really confident and happy with what they're doing, it makes people mad and wants to like put them in their place.
Well,
and I think that like I understand, because like I sometimes have that impulse too and be like, okay, wait, no, why am I feeling that way? Like, you know, like overcome that. But, you know.
So where part of that comes from is that for people with certain like backgrounds, especially like certain religious backgrounds, humility is seen as like this, like, you know, you must be humble, you must always be like super humble. And at some point that got kind of like twisted around to, not for everybody, but like for some people it ended up morphing into kind of like,
you can never be happy.
You can never be happy. You always must feel guilty. You can never be like proud of your accomplishments. And like you see this actually in pro sports a lot, that there is like some athletes are like really great, and if they actually come out and just say that, everyone's like, oh well, they're not very humble, like they're very full of themselves. And it's like, actually they're like one of the greatest athletes of all time. I think that they're allowed to just say it, you know.
I think what the part people, not much peeps in that. I need to sit after dragging a Bach upstairs. Oh, yeah. I also hate moving. Like, that's awful. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I think that like with self-confidence, sometimes people can get like a little too cocky to the point where they start being harmful to other people. Like being annoying and being like, I'm the best pilot, that doesn't hurt anybody. It's when you start thinking you're better than other people, so therefore you can be mean to other people.
Yeah.
That's where the, in my opinion, the message of humbleness comes from. Like, yeah, remember, even when you're really successful, you should remember that you're not better than other people. You're just really good at this one thing, and you're allowed to be confident and happy about that. But that doesn't mean you can walk all over other people.
Yeah.
You know, that's where the lesson of humility is. It comes from, remember that when you become successful or happy or whatever, that you shouldn't rub other people's faces into the dirt. Appreciate yourself without putting other people down.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think that that's how, like, I think that people took it far to the extent of like, it's like they missed the message on like, oh, it means that you're not like better than other people, but you're still allowed to be confident. They just took it as like, never talk about anything good that you've done because it's bragging, you know? When it's like, no.
You should have waited for us to pick, well, you should have waited for Stacy. Stacy does all of my manual labor that I can't do.
It's true.
I had to have Stacy come over and fix my smoke alarm.
Oh,
so I could get to it.
I like that it took you 3 days to call me to come over, and by the time I came over, you were just like, I can't. It won't stop.
Yeah, because it's hard for me to ask for help. It's really hard to ask for help for me. So it was 3 days. And also, like, that was, like, the third time it had started going off after I had called the maintenance person. And, like, I don't know. It was a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, Joker, you're allowed to be confident.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Just one more thing. I want to know if Cypher of Tyr, Tanya, you have the same opinion as me. My male friends were like on Discord with me, like, just knock on your neighbor's door and ask a tall man to come into your apartment and change the batteries in your smoke alarm. And I said, absolutely not. I will not be going around my apartment building.
F no.
And thank you. All of them were like, Mara, you're just a misandrist. Like, you just hate men. And I was like, this is not a hate situation.
Minty says that's how you get murdered.
And thank you. And they're like, Mara, you're in a relatively nicer apartment building. And I was like, what does that have to do with anything?
No. Because you know what would happen? Like,
realistically, what would more likely happen is if they happen to be somebody who is also attracted to me, and then now I have to deal with that forever.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is the second time my mom's calling. Hello, Mom. I'm streaming. What's up? It's going well, Mama. You're calling twice in a row and made me nervous. Are you okay? So the internet in your car is going off and it's stressing you out? Okay. All right. I'm sorry your internet is messed up. Yeah. Ah. Oh, I hope you feel better, Mom. Okay, you too. I hope your internet gets better, Mom. I love you. Goodbye. My internet's not working. Mari's streaming. I have to know how her stream is going right now. Mom, if you call me twice, I assume someone is dead or dying.
Oh my goodness.
Why the fuck did you call me about it? I'm glad she does. She's my mom, but it made me really nervous. And she's like, the internet in my house isn't working.
Our families are like are like so opposite in terms of communication. I haven't talked to my family in like a month. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. We're back to Tanya. What? I forget. Was Tanya?
Oh no. We were just talking about like not wanting to die by randos is not misandry. What the fuck?
Thank you. It's totally down to them just like not knowing what it's like to be a woman.
Here's the thing.
And they all treat their wives really, really well. So like in their head, other men are like them.
Yeah.
They do. So like I get it. It's just that they just don't understand.
I always think back to this like one time that I was like on the train platform and like I wasn't really thinking and this guy had like a really nice jacket on and so I was like, oh, like I really like your jacket, where'd you get it? And then he proceeded to like follow me on the train, like talking to me, asking me questions the whole time. I was like, ah, shit. Like I genuinely just wanted to give this person a compliment and like walk away. And like he was inviting me places. I was like, I'm seeing somebody. This was like a very long time ago, but I was just kind of like, yeah. And like, this is why, like, you know, when men are like, why don't women give compliments to men on the street? And I'm like, because there's a good chance that they are going to think that you are hitting on them and want to further the conversation, even if that's not necessarily what you meant.
And, like, I also... I've noticed that whenever I wear a dress and try to do literally even the smallest bit of manual labor in public, men will offer to help me. And, like, I 100% appreciate that. I get why. It's not like you're sinning or anything.
See you later.
Bye! Thanks for coming by. But, like, I have one experience where one person offered to help me and I accepted it. And it was, like, really creepy and weird. And from now on, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And it's not like I think... I do think, oh my god, this person's going to hurt me. But it's like a instinctual reaction.
Yeah.
Logically, most likely, this person is not going to do anything weird. They just want to help me because I look cute in my dress, and that's allowed.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, like... it just takes one experience where you're like, it's really not worth risking this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it, is that, like, even, like, now, it's not so much that I think that I walk down the street thinking, like, oh my god, every man is going to hurt me. It's more just, like, I try not to, like, just ever risk it, because you just really don't know. That's all.
Let's say there's, like, a 2% chance of that happening, but you're going out every day, and the times it has happened has been really, really distressing. And I just don't feel like... And then I'm told, like, if it does happen, well,
it's your
why
fault?
were you doing this? And I'm like, you just told me I don't need to be worried. Like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm sorry, Joker.
Back to Joker.
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolich syndrome. Brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow. Too much force and they'll shatter.
So you're
Even
a bird.
with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack. It's very dramatic. But I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you know, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
Okay, I have a genuine question. I always made the assumption that his whole body was brittle boned. But now I'm realizing he just said it's his legs.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean he can shoot guns and stuff?
Why does everyone call him Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
You're dodging the question.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy. Even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
Guess what? Yes, it was a 15-minute side conversation. That's how this is a transformative work.
So, yeah, it could potentially affect, like, a lot of places in your body, because it's a real condition.
But does it centralize?
No, because you can also have, like, problems with your teeth, breathing problems, hearing loss. Like, there's a lot of other... So it might just kind of depend on, like, where it manifested in the person, because it can also be varying degrees of severity. So some people get it and it's a whole body bone condition. It's just that your legs undergo the most stress because of weight distribution.
Okay, then how did Joker shoot that gun in Mass Effect 2? How did he do it? Did he just go, all right, this is the one time it's worth it, and just start shooting bullets? And it was like, now my arm's broken. Everyone on the ship. That might have been it.
Yeah. Hence his fractured my thumb on the mute button quip in Mass Effect 2.
He also shot a gun, and I always wondered, did that break his arm and he was just, like, weighing the pros and cons of that moment?
Do you think that their guns have as much kickback as ours do?
Yeah, for sure, because in the Codex is, like, the commander has to get special upgrades to shoot certain guns.
Got it.
So they do have a lot of kickback.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know more about this Vrolich syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures. Hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
I have to go.
All right, see you.
So Silver Minty says, definitely broke his arm and was like, worth it. Dr. Chakwas will handle it from here.
I love that Dr. Chakwas asks for literally like $7 billion worth of platinum. Like that was just like a normal thing to ask for. I can't remember where the medical med bay is. And then you're like, wait, what did you do with all of that platinum? Serious question.
Mm-hmm.
There's Chakwas.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up...
She made a jewelry Etsy.
Started her own liquor store.
50,000 platinum to remove your scars if you're a Rube one. Exactly.
I'm just glad we got there in time.
So am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
Just to let you guys know, Liara is a very creepy person who insists on mind melding with you. Just letting y'all know.
It's fine.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
But remember, that's what makes her an interesting person. It is nice to have perfect characters with no flaws, little babies. But realistically, sometimes you're going to have a hot alien who's obsessed with you and stalks all of your files and learns everything about you. And sometimes that's nice.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Oh, so you're mysterious and smart and cool. That's stupid. Ugh, I don't like you anyway.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers. But I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau. I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past. It sounds so foolish when I say it out loud. It sounds like I became an archaeologist simply to spite Benezia.
Oh, I mean, you said that, not me.
All children rebel against their parents. It's a natural part of growing up.
Aha, you share the wisdom of the matriarch, Shepard. That is exactly what Benezia said when I told her of my decision. But there was more to it than that. I felt drawn to the past. The Protheans were these wondrous, mysterious figures. I wanted to know everything about them. That is why I find you so fascinating. You were marked by the beacon on Eden Prime. You were touched by working Prothean technology.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
Yes!
Yes!
No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
She doesn't know how to process her feelings.
I like that said, like, so you agree. You're really pretty.
No, I'm like hyper focused on you, like you're an artifact, but you're not an artifact. You're a person.
Shit.
What is this feeling? Oh, the only way I know how to cope with being interested in something is to very seriously, in-depth research it. But you're a person, so I don't know how to handle this. You're like, Liara, you have a crush on me because I saved your life. Because I'm so big and strong, and you want me to hold you in your arms.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool.
Yes.
Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
Silver Minty says, you were touched by Prothean technology.
Yeah.
Do
you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
Sweet.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Asari are the Gerudo of Mass Effect. Slightly less Jack, though. Yeah. I think it's interesting that when people make up all female races, yeah, they're doing it so it's like, yeah, they're horny for anyone, including you, my dude.
Yeah.
But, like, realistically, it opens up a very interesting culture to make stuff up about in terms of, like, building a world. And it's nice.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
Benezia never told you her partner's name?
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Ouch.
What?
I'm saying ouch.
Oh,
that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, Matriarch Benezia definitely should have, explained that probably was not the case. That she herself pushed on them to nothingness. I think it's so interesting because depending on the game and, like, where you're getting this information from, you'll get very different things. But what we do know is that the Asari always comes out 100% Asari, and that Asari mate, and sometimes they say it just randomizes the genes to prevent, like, genetic mutations and genetic diseases. And others will be like, you're taking on traits from your father, and that's where you get these markings from. And I believe that, like, some of it's probably, like, Facebook pseudoscience. Other parts of it are, like, political, what's the word I'm looking for? Political, propaganda, where it's like, you definitely want to marry outside your race because it's bad to marry inside your race, because they want the Asari to mate with other species to solidify, like, that nobody is going to want to fight with you.
Domination.
Yeah. They have galactic domination by way of the tactic of having everybody in their species married to somebody in another species, so that nobody's going to want to fight you.
Well, I agree. But the implication here is kind of that it makes me think maybe that the long-term partner thing is not as common as the just like one night stand so we can randomize genes and get a baby thing.
It's like different, because I do remember talking to Asari who are like reluctant to be with Krogan, because in their mind, hooking up with a human or a Solarian, it's like, okay, that's 40 years, that's 50 years, and like that's their partner until they die. Mm-hmm. But to them, that's like short. So like when they date Krogan or like mate with Krogan, they're like, well, that's a real commitment, because Krogan live just as long as they do.
That's like really. Yeah, everything to an Asari is a one-night stand.
Yeah, unless they fuck a Krogan or themselves, or someone of their own species.
So then that would kind of support the fact that, like, I guess for the way the other species, it only really counts, I guess, if they keep in touch, because, like, if they don't keep in touch, then what does the random human or Solarian care? I'm not, like, disputing. I'm merely, like.
They encourage the relationship.
Yeah.
They encourage you to be in a relationship the whole lifetime. Mm-hmm. But to them, it's like not as much of a commitment.
Yeah.
But it becomes a big commitment when they're with a species that lives just as long as they do.
How long do Turians live?
Turians live the same amount as humans, which is around 150 years. Mm-hmm. And Solarians live for 40. Vorta live for 20. I don't know how long Batarians live. And Krogans can live over 1,000. If they're a biotic Krogan, they can live like to 1,500. Mm-hmm. And Asari live to be 1,000 on average.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
Yep.
Do you know
I already asked this.
She rarely spoke of
Benezia never told you her partner?
It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived.
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
She's definitely saying a very romantic version of what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
I don't feel like talking.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Mari, can you ask her if you're like a pet to her? Yeah, that would be, I would imagine that would just be kind of weird, because it's like, I already get, through my own personal paranoia, I get very in my own head about, like, what would happen if people that I cared about passed away, and I can't imagine being the Asari, knowing that you're gonna live, like, so much longer than a partner.
Common Alert brings up that some Asari feel used by Krogan because Krogan, in desperation of wanting to have any sort of children, will mate with Asari. Even though their children will not be Krogan, they'll be 100% Asari. But they just, like, want to have kids so bad that they'll try and get with Asari.
Or so is it that the Krogan feel used or the Asari feel used?
The Asari feel used.
Got it.
Because the Krogan want to have babies. And, like, they don't even care that it's, like, not a Krogan baby. They just, you know, they just want to have kids, and they can't.
Yeah.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
Everybody seems to know Saren.
I thought it was important.
Huge galaxy. Everybody knows Saren.
I
So
mean,
that guy? Saren?
I mean, he's a Spectre, so maybe that makes it a little bit more likely, you know?
It does, but it's just like everyone's like, Saren? That fucking guy? Hate that guy.
Yeah. I imagine it's like maybe that's why, like, even though you've never been to certain countries, you still know who the leader of the country is or something like that.
True. Just as, like, all it is telling me is that Saren caused nothing but drama. Whereas you're just like, hey, do you guys know Adam? Fucking Adam, dude?
Fucking hate that guy.
I hate that guy. It's just like some guy on the other end. Are you talking about Saren? I fucking hate that guy. Like, you just walk into a bar. Anyone here seen Saren? And they all reply, all have a personal story about how he personally fucked them up.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
So genuine question, do you enjoy the games even though you know the ending? And if so, when is the Ask Creed Odyssey playthrough? I actually have had a hard time playing the games ever since I saw the ending in 2012. And I politely ask that we no longer bring it up because it's been 9 years and I'm still upset. I'm still upset. And it's not a joke. It's real. It's real pain. I'm so sorry if any of you guys like the endings. You are wrong. And it ruined my life. And I never loved any video game or anything ever again as much as I loved Mass Effect. Because every time I tried, I would remember that Mass Effect let me down. That's how devastating it is. I'm so sorry.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. A couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
So long, Rex.
Cake Monster, I'm so glad that you retained our little trivia fact that he has 4 testicles.
He does. He does. I remember when the ending of Mass Effect 3 was leaked before the game came out, and I, like, didn't believe it, but I was also the moderator of a Mass Effect forum, a very popular one, and I basically had to sacrifice my own happiness, and I didn't believe it because I couldn't believe that the ending could be so awful and so bad.
It was like just not accepting, like, no, it can't be that.
No, I like genuinely was like, this is a troll. That cannot be true. Like, it's not possible that that would be the ending. But I was like making sure none of that faked, leaked ending got onto this forum and ruined everyone else's experiences until the game came out and everyone was like, no, it's true, it's true. And I was like, it can't be true. No, I'll play the game, it can't be true. And then I played the game and I finished and I was like, it's true.
Like, there's going to be some other context that they didn't mention that makes it...
Makes sense,
okay,
yeah. Like, I literally was like, no, there's no way it could possibly be that bad. And it was worse than what I imagined. And then, slowly, over, like, the month after, people would be like, I haven't gotten there, but, like, I think you guys are being super dramatic. Like, it can't possibly be this bad. And then, like, later, the same users would be like, you were right. You guys are right. I'm so sorry that I even started fights about it. You're right. Like, it's that bad.
They do not show the 4 testicles. However, you can find art of them in secret places on the internet.
Okay, I don't want to be negative anymore. I'm not going to acknowledge the ending anymore.
I'm drawing us back over to testicles.
Testicles. That's our safe place. That's my safe, happy place.
Yeah. Why did you want to be a C-Sec officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was C-Sec, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
That's tough. But you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a C-Sec man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren.
Everybody knows about Saren, huh?
Out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger for the same reasons.
Saren has personally hurt each and every person in this ship.
Well, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense because we did kind of pick them for our crew based on...
everyone fucking with Saren.
Yeah. So we kind of like self-selected for a bunch of people who are probably going to know a little bit about him.
And it's also telling us Saren surely and truly sucks.
Yes.
Because, like, just imagine, like, enough people have been personally hurt by you that they start a squad together to take you down. Like, your life ends because it's just a bunch of random people you personally affronted through your life. And they all, this is like, I don't know, like some like Scott Pilgrim shit. All the exes band together, and you have to defeat all of them. That's us. Exactly. We created a squad.
You were asked to be a Spectre.
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it.
He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, C-Sec's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Okay, Batman.
Just because you can break the rules doesn't mean you should. I don't need to stoop to Saren's level to stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it. Thanks, Commander.
It's a good thing you didn't go the fascist route. You went the cool Batman route. But you know, it could have gone worse.
They need someone who's not held back by laws. If we're gonna keep doing combos, we might want to turn up the volume on the game a little bit.
Oh, they can't. Who's back here?
Tally!
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving, and the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have till it's gone.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them. But maybe they just wanted a different life.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually. But we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
Thank you, Honey Hope, for subscribing. We
Thank
really
you, Honey
appreciate that.
Hope.
I should go.
See you later.
I should go.
Caden, what was your opinion?
Yeah, what's going on with you, buddy boy?
Commander, do you have a minute?
I always make time for my officers.
Off the record, I think there's something wrong here. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. I mean, it's funny, we finally get out here, and the final frontier was already settled. And the residents don't even seem impressed by the view. Or the dangers.
Well, well. You're a romantic. Did you sign on for the dream, Malenko? Secure a man's
I didn't mean to
future in
say
space?
that.
Yeah, I read a lot of those books when I was a kid, where the hero goes to space to prove himself worthy of a woman he loves, or, you know, for justice. Maybe I was a romantic in the beginning, but I thought about it after brain camp. Biotic acclimation and temperance training. I'm not looking for the dream. I just want to do some good. See what's out here. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when Kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
1 second. So they mentioned Gagarin Station. For anyone who is not aware, Yuri Gagarin was the Russian cosmonaut who was the first human to go to space.
Oh, cool.
So I always find it fun in sci-fi when it's like they name things in like the sci-fi universe after like real space people, you know?
It's immersive. You're like, ah, this truly is my future.
Yeah, this is what will happen.
I've been listening to a lot of like Warhammer 40k lore videos on YouTube when I'm like doing stuff.
Yeah.
And it's always like the most disturbing stuff in the world. And it's like, this is my future. Psychic vampires who live off the energy of torture. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what's gonna happen. Like, time to get physical then. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. You know what? Oh. I am gonna propose a three-way between Liara and Kaidan.
Uh-oh.
You were all teenagers. I'm sure you found other ways to occupy the time.
I'm not the sort who does that kind of thing, Commander. Not lightly, anyway. There was a girl I spent a lot of time with a week after her clothes on. Rana. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful. But not stuck up about it. Like you, I guess.
Did you love her?
She didn't know she was beautiful, and that made her even more attractive.
Because I don't like it when women who are out of my league know that. I want a woman who's completely and totally out of my league, but hates herself so that I can keep her within my reach.
Seriously.
That's all I hear. It's like,
yeah.
You know what? No, I do want someone who knows they're beautiful, but in a way where it lifts themselves up and doesn't make them treat other people.
Where, like, they feel, like, yeah, confident in their beauty, but not, like, I don't know. I just, whenever I hear people say that whole, like, they don't know they're beautiful, I just, what ends up happening in a lot of those movies and stuff is it's like the person has, like, self-confidence issues or whatever, you know?
Sounds like billionaires to me. Someone who's confident wants others to be too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think what people are trying to avoid is like, in my opinion, it's like either, well, I want her to be beautiful, but not know she's beautiful so she won't reject me, a piece of garbage. Or they don't want to be around someone who's stuck up, which is a different thing.
Yeah.
It's like, she was beautiful and confident, but didn't lord it over other people is something I would have liked to hear.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what he said, because he said that she was beautiful but wasn't stuck up about it. But, I don't know. That's, when people say stuff like that, if that's the thing that they're pointing out, I kind of question the motivation but behind that being the thing that you point out, you know? Like, I feel like there are better ways to communicate that.
All I hear is she's beautiful, but not, she had no idea, and that's how I managed to gaslight her into being with me.
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything Kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. Anyway, this was supposed to be a casual debrief, not a bull session about stuff that happened years ago.
I wanted to get to know you a little better, that's all. Thanks for the talk, Kaidan.
Well, you're welcome, ma'am. You, make a habit of getting this personal with everyone?
No, I don't. We'll talk again later.
I'll need some time to process that, Commander. But, yeah, I'd like that.
Maybe Kaidan's demisexual, and that's why in 3 he's like, you know what? Yeah, I'll fuck Commander Shepard, male Shepard. Because he's more into the emotional connection than anything else. At least that's what he's... No, I just went down this... Went the wrong way. Now we gotta go through the elevator.
Yeah, I think that sometimes what we pick up on when we talk to people like that conversation is that it's like, it's not just, you know, when someone's describing another person to you, it's not just the things that they say, it's also like what they chose to focus on, if that makes sense. So like,
she was smart and beautiful and rich. Oh, what did she like?
Yeah,
she was rich, but what was she like? She was beautiful.
And it's like when people choose to describe someone as like they were beautiful but they weren't stuck up about it, that is not like on its face just like a horrible thing to say, but it does tell you a little something about the person who's saying it, that that's how they would describe somebody, you know, like that's the trait that they would choose to tell you when there's all these other things about someone's personality or even like their appearance, like, oh, she was like absolutely beautiful, whatever.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Commander Shepard, my name is Nasana Dantius. I have a job for you. I can't say any more in an unsecured communication. If you're interested in hearing my offer, meet me on the Citadel so we can talk in person. I'll be waiting in the Diplomat's Lounge on the Presidium.
It's kind of like, have you ever asked somebody, like, what's your favorite thing about me? And they say, you have really nice tits, or something like that.
Oh my god.
They don't pick up anything about your personality, or like, they literally just go to like a physical thing about you, and you're like, oh, there's a lot of different ways you could have answered this question, but you answering it that way tells me a little bit of something about how you view me as a human person.
Yeah, disappointing to say the least.
Yeah. If you're asking specifically for body compliments, like, that's one thing, but...
No, I am very direct with what I want from my partners. And then I get really mad when they still don't do it, because I was like, I literally gave you an outline. That's all you had to do, and I'm not asking for crazy shit.
Yeah.
I get really mad because I'm already like communicating exactly what I need, and if you don't want to do it, then let's not be together. Don't say you're gonna do it and then not do it.
Mari says, I gave you the syllabus.
I did. I gave them the syllabus. No, because it's always so frustrating, because then you always hear people being like, well, why don't you just tell me what you want? And I do. And when the issue isn't just telling you what I want, I'm like...
You have to actually do it, though.
Yeah, you have to do it. You can't blame me for not telling you. You have to do it.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I don't expect people to read my mind.
But I do expect people to follow through.
Yeah. But if I tell somebody, like, hey, can you please do this for me? Or, like, hey, I need you to tell me this. Then, like, you know.
Girl squad.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and this is where Benezia is, so this will be great.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Can't die. Presley's a racist.
And I feel like, it is fair to say that sometimes people don't know what they want, but if you know, then you should tell people and not try to make them guess on purpose.
Because already telling you, I'm like, great, now I have to go through the emotional labor of telling you what I need.
We saw your ship. Dan wants to speak with you immediately.
Boyaki says, I fully expect people to read my mind so I can hunt those creatures. So they freaking mind flare.
Benezia is on Novaria.
Oh, I got it, fucked it up, messed it up.
Who's Fidan?
Fake fan.
Not
He's
real.
our leader. He needs your help to prepare for the Geth. They're making another push. Please, up the stairs past the freighter. Look out!
Oh! Oh, dude! Alright, you can't just glitch glitch out of my range of when I'm trying to shoot. That doesn't count.
Wow.
Okay, let's see. Yes! Singularity is unlocked! Fuck yeah. I love Lyra with the singularity. Hold on. I'm just gonna max out singularity. Oh, that's as high as I can go. Okay, give her a barrier. I can't toggle her helmet. I was like, wait! Hold on. Let's see.
It's over now.
No, it's not. There's we're definitely being jammed.
Well, this is dark.
What? God, I hate those things.
Yeah.
Alright, don't look at me. Don't move like that. It's too sexual. It's too sexual.
Alright, chat agrees with you. He kind of sexy.
That's what I'm saying. It's too sexy. Make it stop.
Jammer's online.
He kind of bad though. Don't worry about that.
Think we're good, Commander?
Oh, this is the planet I always get lost on. Well, the maps in this area are a little confusing.
But what if I find Geth there?
I fear the Geth will kill us all.
Yeah, well. It's not like we have a ship that can evacuate these colonists.
The Geth can't be allowed into the heart of the colony.